Hey, it's me, Hrishikesh Kannan, popularly known as Hrishi K. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon now to get the latest videos and get taken into a world of entertainment, culture, sport, business, and current affairs.
I've always gone with the flow. I've always believed in my work and believed in myself, and I also believe that if someone else believes in it, then it will work out. So it's not about whether it's big screen or OTT or whatever. And honestly, the shift is happening very, 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 very fast.
Yeah.
आज लोग बोल रहे हैं कि अरे थिएटर क्यों जाना है, OTT पे आएगा ना. That's the basic sentence everyone's using. So now there's no difference between do we do this or do we do that. I absolutely love my career so far. It's been about 17 years that I've been working. People used to ask me this very weird question of, we hear that an actress's shelf life is only 5 years or 6 years. Do you think you'll be able to make it in that short span of time? And all I'd be like, I'm not a packet of milk on a shelf to have a shelf
Well
life.
said, yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Regina Aadil, great to see you. Aadil, nice shades, bro.
Thank you so much,
Likewise,
man.
Hrishi. Oh, wait.
Great to see you too.
Okay.
Oh. I'm hardly to be seen now.
Top Gun is in. We've had a second movie after so many years, courtesy Tom Cruise.
I
Shoorveer
know.
is the Indian Top Gun, and it's only fair that you have a pair of aviators on. So I'm cool with you wearing that, Regina. Okay.
Where are your shades?
Hotstar's done great promotions for us. They've given us our entire kit. They're like, guys, just wear this and go.
Awesome.
I think you should be wearing shades as well.
Yeah, where are yours?
I think I've got some here. Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, this is it.
Bye.
Wow.
I was just complaining, saying, why is it that it's a second Zoom session with Regina? I mean, I would have loved to come and given you real hugs. Adil, I met on many occasions.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, things were not to be. So, that still remains on my bucket list to give you
For
a real
sure,
hug. And I'm
for
sure that's
sure.
going to happen very, very soon. Guys, they showed us a couple of preview episodes, some select journalists, and I came away very, very impressed. And one of the reasons I came away very impressed is because normally when you see special effects, at least in the television and OTT sphere, it's always, let's do it against a green screen. And I don't think, I could see any semblance of a green screen here. This is the best tech that one could ask for. So, Regina, you want to comment on the tech of it first, please?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first time I'm shooting something like this on this scale. When I walked into the Juggernaut office on day one to meet the team, Kanish was so excited. Like, his energy was infectious. He was so excited. He had this whole presentation of how things are going to be done. And he was so hell-bent on the fact that we will not use green screens. It was his thing from day one. He was like, we have simulation guns. We're gonna, simulate the ACM. We're gonna do everything. Our entire aircraft episode, our flying thing. It was so exciting and interesting to shoot because it was the first time I'm doing something like that. To have the rig in front of you and you're just sitting in the cockpit and to be acting and doing all of these things, and then finally seeing the outcome, the output of it. I was so excited, and to be a part of something like this in your career is definitely going to go down as something that I will talk about. I will reminisce about. I will have experiences to share, and I think it's the whole amalgamation of the whole thing that makes it even more beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very well answered. Adil, are you good with kids? Because I noticed you're playing a young father.
Yes.
I mean, it's one thing to nail it on camera, which, you've done a great job out of, but sometimes it helps to break the ice and just hang with the kid and, do an exchange and things like that. So how well did you get along with your on-screen daughter?
She is adorable. She's such a sweet little kid, and from day one, she's very confident. So I mean, that wasn't a problem at all. Not that she was shy to talk or anything like that. More than me talking to her, it was her talking to me all the time. So it was great. And also, I think, and I was reading about this somewhere, that most of the actors are scared to work with kids and animals, because they bring certain amount of innocence and reality which comes very organically to them, that it's a little difficult to match up to it. And that is in a way true also. I think kids are fantastic with delivering their emotions. It comes very naturally to them because it's a clean slate, right? I mean, they don't have any preconceived thoughts about this is right, this is wrong. They just go for it. So it was amazing working with that little kid, and she also is a very, very good actor. So it was just, and in general, I love kids, so it was a pleasure.
That's nice. So Regina, you don't smile much in the series, do you? I mean, at least in the first 2 or 3 episodes, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Obviously, a character who's carrying tremendous emotional baggage, but you look like for the lack of any other way to put it across, a natural smiler. If there's a word like that. And sometimes when you're thrown into parts like this, where she's not really supposed to smile very much because everything that's happened, is it a tough one to do?
Thanks for that, Hrishi. I'm actually a natural smiler, giggler, laugher, everything. I'm always going, ha, ha, ha. And my laugh apparently is very loud also. But no, honestly, when I got into the skin of Avantika and understood everything that she had gone through, it didn't feel natural to smile unless I really needed to smile, but it wasn't a conscious thought. It was just something that came along with the scene and along with how Avantika would be. It was not Regina trying to be Avantika on screen. It was more like Avantika. This is how Avantika would do it. This is who Avantika is. Because for the longest time through the show, you don't know what she's going through. But you know that why does she have a stick up her ass, right? Like that's
I couldn't have described it in a better manner.
because so many times that's how I felt. Like when I think back at it, I'm like, oh my God, like this woman. But as the show proceeds and then you see what happens, things unfold, you understand, okay, now we know why. And I wanted to play it like that. I wanted it to be like, oh my God, what is her problem? But not in an irritating way, but with that underlying emotion sort of a thing. And each of us had this our characterization so set, and I love how they're all contrasting to each other. Like Salim has a family, and then Viraj has these issues, and then I have these issues, and all of us have something or the other that we talk about. So it felt good playing the character. It felt good playing. I don't always want to play someone who's close to me, right? It's a challenge to play someone who has these issues, some psychological issues, or some vulnerability that they refuse to show, or some inferiority complex. So yeah.
No, but good on you. Well done. Like I said, it's easier to play somebody or something that's second skin to you the way you are in real life. But if it's nothing like you in real life, and it obviously isn't, because there's so little smiling, an aura of gloom, at least in the first few episodes, you've done such a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Adil, how many times have men been in situations, especially just out of college? I mean, you have to remember these cadets are really young cadets. I mean, the only way you can equate them to real life is somebody who's just passed out of college and in their first job, right? I mean, still relatively young guys.
Yeah.
How many times we've been in situations in gyms or public areas where two guys with their sense of bravado are about to go at each other and thulp each other, and a woman comes in and says, ease down.
Happens all the time.
All the time, isn't it? And I see that.
The woman who ends it.
That too.
That too. Is so true.
So I love this whole scene where Armaan and yourself are like going at each other in the gym and almost, getting into fisticuffs, and Anjali's character comes and pipes you guys down.
Yeah.
But that tension between Armaan's character and your character is very interesting to me because it's just there through the show.
Yeah.
Do you know Armaan from before? Is this the first time you guys are working together? Because it was really well done. It was two actors at the top of their acting abilities.
Yeah. No, I met Armaan for the first time through this project only. And we gelled along pretty well. But then what we did, and what actually Armaan did, throughout the shoot, till the time we were shooting all these portions where we guys are not gelling around much, we were in general also not too much. Just a sec, my cat is jumping here. So
Hi.
just left.
You know, the guy, I'm so sorry, but a flashback came into my mind. You know, one person who you interview and you will always get his cat with him. You
Jim.
always get two for the price of one is Jim Serb.
Yeah.
Every interview of Jim's, it's Jim and the cat. And it's take it or leave it. Because if you ask him to put her out of frame, he'll say, no, I'm not going to do the interview. So you know about that, Regina.
Yes, I do.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so coming back to it, I think so what we did till the time we were shooting the portions where as characters we are not gelling up together much. So we were in general also not in those portions gelling up together.
At one point, I thought Adil and Armaan just hated each other.
which is not true at all. So we were not, but the moment it got over, and I remember we were in Serbia then, and Armaan came to me and Armaan hugged me and he was like, hey, bro, I really like you, but you know, the show is such and the character is such, and that's why, you know, I was a little not so conversational with you. And I was like, yeah, man, I understand. And then we had that bro moment and all. But sometimes, you know, as actors, you have to
tell him where also you had this bro moment.
They tell.
Yeah. I mean, I can't give you much details, but just on the basic level, we were in Serbia and there was this fantastic music festival going on. And Regina got the invitations, VVIP invitations
Nice.
for all of us. And
you
then,
don't have to give those details about it. I just want to know where you are.
Yeah, so I don't have to give those details also.
Well, he's a juicy storyteller, so he's just getting to the point, slow and steady.
Yeah. So Armaan joined us a little late, and he already was enjoying his other parties, and he came from there in that state. After, you know how you become after you enjoy some parties. And then that's when this bro moment happened. So we hugged each other and we were like, cool, bro, I like you too, man. That was just the character, bro. Yeah. So
many beverages were consumed and many hugs were exchanged. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So Samar and Kanishk had this question answer session with select members of the media. Like, we were called in by Disney Hotstar, and, you know, a couple of episodes were shown to us, and we were having this question answer session. And Samar goes, you know, I wanted more or less unknown actors to play these parts because I didn't want like mainstream stars. And I'm going, Sam, Regina Cassandra is a massive star down south. And so what are you saying? And suddenly he looked at me as going that, you know how Bombay Tamils are, South Indians are. Adil, you know how it is, right? We're very conscious of South Indian stars because we know them.
Yeah.
And all of us, even though we live in Bombay, we have relatives who'll give an arm and a leg to meet these stars.
Yeah.
So I have cousins in Chennai and Bangalore and all over saying, oh, you know her? You met her? You hung with her? So, so we know her stardom. So I'm going, correction. So anyway, my logical question is, I mean, given that you're such a massive star, the traditional route always is, let me get into, like most South Indian girls, get into the movies and then explore further. Both your projects, which are actually fantastic projects, have been in the OTT. So you want to talk about that less conventional path, the road less traveled, Regina?
It's funny that you mentioned the road less traveled, Rishi, because it happens to be my favorite Robert Frost poem.
What are you saying? It's mine too. Yeah.
Really? And two roads diverged over, and I took the one less traveled by. They say pay attention to the things that you're attracted to. And for the longest time, I never knew I was always attracted to certain things. And one being this poem. And having gone through life from after that till now, I see my route being very different because of the kind of person that I am, with the kind of sensibilities, the values, the principles, and etc., everything that formed the basis of my conscious living. I'm very happy today, even when people say, oh, even though you've been in the industry for so long, you need to do a lot more work. I'm open to doing it. I don't think my ego would ever come into these things because I faced enough in my life in terms of work and career. I think it's not about the route I take at the end of the day, whether it's OTT, whether it's mainstream cinema. I really want to be relevant, and I will head with that. I will follow with that. Being relevant and doing the things that I would like to do, because at the end of the day, being caught up in trying to live a certain life and trying to live up to a few expectations doesn't cut it for me. I've always gone with the flow. I've always believed in my work and believed in myself, and I also believe that if someone else believes in it, then it will work out. So it's not about whether it's big screen or OTT or whatever. And honestly, the shift is happening very, 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 very fast.
Yeah.
आज लोग बोल रहे हैं कि अरे थिएटर क्यों जाना है, OTT पे आएगा ना. That's the basic sentence everyone's using. So now there's no difference between do we do this or do we do that. I absolutely love my career so far. It's been about 17 years that I've been working. And I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. When I started in 2011 in the Telugu industry, it was when in 2011 it started as a career. People used to ask me this very weird question of, we hear that an actress's shelf life is only 5 years or 6 years. Do you think you'll be able to make it in that short span of time? And all I'd be like, I'm not a packet of milk on a shelf to have a shelf
Well
life.
said. Yeah, well said.
Yeah. So, but I was still like 20, 21 back then. And I was like, okay, what is this world? This is definitely not my world. But having navigated my life through that and sitting here today, talking to you about this is pretty much exciting for me. I love every little stone that I've stumbled upon, every little pathway that I've stumbled upon, everything that has come through. I think it makes for a great journey. So yeah,
That's lovely. Adil, normally anything to do with the Indian Armed Forces, there's a lot of jingoism, there's heroism. They go into a quick operation, they do bang, 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 and they come out.
Yeah.
What I love about this series is that all your backstories are so carefully done and very, very sensitively done.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I can't help but try and figure is, somebody like a Tom Cruise can turn around and say, I'm doing Top Gun 2, so my entire cast should learn how to fly. He has the resources and the funds to put them in MiGs, get them to fly and things like that. So, especially for you guys, because you play pilots.
Yeah.
Did you miss that? Given that there was a pandemic, you couldn't do that. You didn't do much of simulator work. A lot of what you had to do was based on reading and researching rather than actual experiencing. You want to talk to me
these
about
guys
that?
got to play with guns and all. I didn't even get to.
You got to play with that? Good.
Yeah, we did experience it also. We went to Serbia and we were shooting with the real fighter jets and everything. We got to sit in them and we got to sit in the choppers and everything.
In a MiG-29.
Oh, you did? That's lovely. Because I was under the impression that you couldn't spend too much time strapped in a flight and do that stuff because, because of the pandemic.
Serbia was all about that. Serbia,
Okay.
we went there just to shoot with the fighter planes and the choppers and everything. And bro, the experience was surreal, man. In real, when you see those machines and when you sit in them and when they land and they take off and the sound they make and when the chopper comes and brings all that tufan along with it. So it's just a surreal feeling. So yes, it was really a lot of fun shooting with those machines. And also it kind of adds to your character, when you're wearing that uniform and when you're standing with that machine next to you, you suddenly feel like, yeah, this is it, man. This is who I am. So it was a very interesting process, the entire show actually. And like you rightly said, the character, Salim Kamali, the one that I'm playing, is shown to be more than just this Air Force pilot. There's a different, altogether different track of how he is as a father and his emotions for his family and all. And that got me really excited when I read the script for the first time, that this is interesting, that not just I'm involved into action, not just I'm this guy who's the go-getter and who thinks from a winner's perspective and somebody who has a lot of patriotism in him, but he's also a very, very loving father, So that was very interesting to get that into me.
Nice. And Regina, the fact that women can now actually fly in the forces, It's just wonderful, isn't it? I mean, to
Yes.
play a character like that, Anjali plays a chopper pilot. There are a fair amount of chopper pilots now, but there are now lady fighter pilots in the Indian Air Force. That must mean a lot to you.
It definitely does, and I'm hoping that through this show, people also know, and especially families know, that it's okay to send your daughter. That's the main thing, right? Oh, daughter, and then how would she be able to do it? In Indian families, that's one of the main things that come about. I hope that through this, people are inspired. People know that it's not about whether it's man or woman at the end of the day when you're serving your country. Also, having gone through all the work that we did in Serbia, when sitting in that MiG-29, looking at it as a civilian from the outside was very interesting for me, because I spent a lot of time with myself when we were doing the Serbia schedule. Because sitting in the cockpit suddenly wasn't all about, oh my God, it's really hot, like hot to look at. Oh my God, the jets, the noise it makes, oh this, oh that. Suddenly it felt very real. Like it's not all about the whole hangama that it's created around it. It's all about inside here, and it's nothing else. It's your normal life. It has to be your normal life. It can't be like, oh my God, I'm a fighter pilot. Oh, I look damn hot. Oh, I look so cool doing this. It's more like, this is your job, It's very interesting to be in the middle of that.
Lovely. Last question. What's the best part about Serbia? Adil, you want to take that, and then Regina?
It's a beautiful place. The people are amazing. The food is delicious, and the weather is amazing. But Regina, do you remember when we were shooting? So this last day of our shoot, and there was a random thunderstorm. Okay, and the wind was blowing like crazy. For somebody like me who weighs 90 kgs, it was difficult for me to put my foot on the ground and stand. And that was the day when we had to walk in style in 48 frames and everything. And it was so difficult.
That was my introduction shot.
Yeah, I know. And I remember the breeze was coming from behind. तो मेरे पूरे ना ऐसे पीछे से बाल खड़े हो जा रहे थे क्योंकि वो इतनी तेज हवा थी. But it was amazing. They have some local food and beverages and all. What is it called again?
Rakia.
Yeah. Supposed to be potent.
It's
supposed to be potent.
It gives you that kind of warmth that you need in a weather like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped a lot of people there. But it was amazing. I think Serbia is a beautiful place. It has so much to be explored. And I think that probably after this show, there would be a lot of filmmakers who would want to go to Serbia and explore it more.
Looks like you, Regina, saw Armaan and him and all the other boys check out all the Eastern European girls and go, okay.
I know, for special ops, I went to Ukraine.
I was wing woman for some of them.
I can imagine getting into the clubs and parties, saying, oh, this, that.
Actually, she was getting all the invitations.
For every Indian, since you're talking about Serbia, let me be very helpful. Serbia is visa on arrival, and they are pretty much like Indians. I had the best driver and the best assistant who happened to be Serbian. The driver was also from the police force. And he's been around with Bradley Cooper, Brad Pitt, and the names, people from Hollywood who worked there. And he had a story to tell me every day to shoot. And it was amazing because, and from all the stories he's told me, Serbians are like Indians. They have this, I would love to share this with you all. They have this word called inat. And inat is basically, he translated it to, if you tell a Serbian not to do something, they'll 100% do it. I'm like, oh, they sound just like Indians. I'm like, this is India.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, very cool society, culture. And to see that in spite of being bombed and in spite of going through everything that they went through, they're so culturally rich. They enjoy life. And another thing, so this is I met a friend of mine on one of the days, and I was supposed to come back to the hotel. And it's a very small, the city is small, you can move around and stuff. So she just said, hop onto this bus. You don't have to pay any ticket money and all. Just hop on, and then fourth stop, hop off. I'm like, again, this sounds like India,
No ticket.
So it felt like home being
Lovely.
there. It was just really good. We had a great experience there.
Novak Djokovic's country, like I always say.
Yeah.
Okay, 15th of July, Shoorveer streams on Disney Plus Hotstar. It stars Aadil, Regina, Armaan, fabulous cast. There she has it. They're the Hawks. That's what they are. Find out more. Kanishk Verma directs the show and is produced by the one and only colorful Samar Khan. So thank you guys. Much love.
Thank you so much.
See you. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Hrishi.
Thank you, Hrishi.
Bye.